Well, great to have everybody here. I saw most of you yesterday, so I guess we got a couple new people from yesterday. But obviously, a big win for us last week at Cincinnati. They had a 32 home game winning streak, and the guys, played extremely well. We did a great job on offense, controlling the football. I think we had the ball 8 minutes longer than they did, which is a huge deal. Defensively, we needed to get stops. We did a superb job stopping them. And then I thought we did a good job in the kicking game, both covering kicks and also with, returns. We really did a good job of starting field position. We do a little stat called hidden yardage, and I think there's 156 hidden yards to our advantage. So really pumped up about it. We're very excited about this game. Our focus is, going 1-0 and this was something that we talked about at the beginning of the year. It's come to fruition. Hosting the AAC Conference Championship here at Yulman Stadium in front of a packed house, sellout crowd. We're really, really pumped about that. So I'll open it up for questions.
How does the rematch affect the dynamic of this game?
Watched a whole bunch of the last game that we played against them here 3 weeks ago, and they're going to do some new stuff. We're going to do some new stuff. There's some things that obviously they had a lot of success with, namely the quarterback run. A lot of success with that. So, we need to, do a much better job in that area, and then. Defensively, they did a good job with causing some havoc plays in the backfield with a few different things that we weren't prepared for, and they'll probably come back to it and do it again. So we're really, watching, everything about the first ball game, but I'm sure there's going to be some wrinkles that we didn't see. We'll find out who's going to play quarterback. That's going to be something that's going to be different. We'll probably find that out in the first series. Plumlee did an excellent job against us, but he went out of the game, didn't play much in the second half. And the other kid, though, started against us 2 years ago and won the game against us a couple of years ago down there. I think he's got 12 starts to his credit, so it's not like it's a novice quarterback. So that'll be a challenge as well to see which one is going to play, because they do run a little bit different offense with each guy. Right.
Is it easier when it's already happened?
Well, it's happened a bunch. In this day and age with everybody running the quarterback, it happens more than it did 20 years ago. But you got to do it, and there's, the difference, back in the old days, you had that film and it was all offense, defense, kicking game, and you had to watch all that and had to do, chicken scratches with what everybody's doing. I can just pull up every play that Mikey Keene's been in, every play that Plumlee's been in. You can kind of see the difference between them, run, pass, what type of run, what type of pass. So, and you got people that work on the next game, the week before. So you're ready to kind of formulate a game plan quickly.
You mentioned Plumlee. After the UCF game, you said that you wish you put your fastest player in as the quarterback. Is that be just for debate?
We're doing that a little bit this week. Yeah, you got good memory. Yeah, he's pretty fast. I think he had 70 yards maybe against USF at halftime. So he had a couple yards. So he's got great speed, great movement. He's a big guy. It's hard to, not going to take him down with an arm tackle.
Does it make it easier to tackle that bigger back if you don't have the quarterback?
Well, you just got to change things how you're doing. The one thing that Plumlee can do is, when they're running some zone read, he'll pull the ball, and you think you got him played, and he out leverages you. He did that against us a few times. It's going to be a different offense depending on who the quarterback is. Without question.
Is that hard to prepare for it?
Yeah, it is because of the speed. You can try to simulate as much as you can during practice, but they work on, pulling the ball and him running or coming downhill on either speed, sweep, power or zone, and their version of the triple option, and which he also does a bunch. You got the dive play, the quarterback play, and he throws it out there to the receiver. So you got to stay, hard man focused a little bit longer against these guys than you do most teams.
Sold out game. Just how exciting is that for a game as big as this?
It's huge. It's normally I talk to y'all and I'm trying to, get some more people here to the game. I've been on the radio quite a bit here in the last couple of days, and I'm like, well, you can watch it on ABC, 3 o'clock. That's because the tickets are all sold out. I got all sorts of people calling me, and I'm like, I got 16 of them there. Those are going to family, So yeah, it's great. It's this is we put a lot of hard work into this program, and there's guys that they're very proud of where we're at right now. I think of a guy like Nico Marley or Tanzel Smart or Rod Teamer. Hey, last week we were playing Cincinnati, and Cam Samples on the sideline and just going crazy the whole ball game, and I had to tell him, you're going to get hurt and I'm going to get in trouble with the head coach of the Bengals, and a couple days later I'm watching him play on TV. So it just is, we really had a good 3-year stretch there. We played in bowl games. It never happened before in the history of Tulane, but we could have done some more those seasons. We had some tough losses, and then everybody knows about last year, and I'm not going to talk about that, but the guys had this goal in mind, and it's special, and everybody's locked in, and like every week we want to go 1-0, and that's what we're all talking about.
Willie, to follow up on that, when you look back at your coaching career, the track this team has gone on from flipping the script from 2 to 10 to 10 to 2. Where does this season rank in your coaching?
Really high. It really does, and I've never had it happen like this before, one year to the next. And I talked about it the other day a little bit. Someone asked me, and, what was the worst thing about last season? Was it Ida? Was it all the COVID protocol you were having to follow? Because it was like another year of COVID for us here. You guys from New Orleans, we were still getting tested 3 times a week, and we had guys that missed games, because their temperature was high and things like that. We did a good job in that regard. But the toughest thing for us was Pratt got hurt in the first game. Ended up having surgery after the season. Hartley was able to practice throughout the year. There's weeks he didn't practice. Then Justin Ibieta tears his labrum week 2. Then my third team guy has a big dislocation on his finger, on his throwing hand. He couldn't throw the ball, and we tried to hide it last year, and probably some of you noticed it and you didn't report it, which I appreciate. But there's a bunch of weeks where we had a graduate assistant who was our quarterback, and he had to do all the throwing for us because we didn't have anybody. We didn't have any healthy bodies to throw the ball. He couldn't throw the ball very good. He was a 4th-team quarterback at a Division II school, So that was probably the toughest thing. Was just we all know how important that position is, and we've been healthy at that spot. We had the injury to Ibieta earlier in the year, but knock on wood, we've been pretty healthy.
You've been through.
What's that?
Okay. You've been through so many different scenarios in your coaching career with bowl games, with playoff games, all this kind of stuff. How is a conference championship now preparing for something on 1 week? What do you relate to from your past experience to face a team you've already faced here and not a lot of time to prepare?
I've played the same team probably quite a few times in my career. Certainly junior college, Division II a little bit, 1AA a little bit, in playoffs and things. So, it's they do it in the NFL, right? They play everybody twice, home and away in their division and all that kind of stuff. So, and you work year round on your opponent. We don't all of a sudden, we just got done with Cincinnati. Who are we playing? Let's wait till Saturday and figure out who wins. Oh, it's UCF. Let's get going on them. You work on. I have about 4 days that we devote to each opponent in the summer. And it was a lot more difficult when it was me and 2 other guys. We got quite a few more coaches. I mean, we don't have a staff like some people have, but we got enough where we can put together a good game plan.
lot of the times when we ask you how special something is, you always give the players and the coaches credit, but from the time that you were introduced here to now to see you one win away from a New Year's Six game, how special has it been for you personally?
It really, really special. It really has been, it's something that we work on year round, and I'm just really happy for everybody involved in the program, and all the students. I think the students have jumped on board. We've had great student support this season. I was a little worried when we had the Thursday night game. I came out for warm-ups and I walked in and we might have had 500 kids out there, and I came back out and we had 2,000 or 3,000, so they've jumped on board, and this has always been the goal, and we were kind of close there. We had a couple of years in there we were close to winning 9 or 10 games, and we just didn't finish the games like we needed to, like last week, I'm very proud of where we're at right now.
How have you seen, I know you said you had the players meeting yesterday, how have you seen the guys respond after having a chance to kind of talk with them about some of the reports?
I think excellent. I think you all watched practice today. Hopefully it looked like, a regular practice that we've had.
Really follow up on that. I know there's been so much speculation over this last couple of days, but just to kind of clarify, do you intend to be the head coach of Tulane?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We talked about that yesterday a little bit, right? I had 4 or 5 different deals yesterday, and it always came up each time. But we're locked in, focused, 1-0, winning this ball game. It's a big game this week. Big game this week.
There's also, in some respects, the goals and aspirations the players have, it's not mutually exclusive. It's not like their goals go away if your future changes, right? Like they still have their.
Well, I just, we got a really close bunch, and we just want to do the same thing that we've done, every week. I talk about 2 components of being able to play great, and, you got to do a great job with preparation. And I think we've done an excellent job of preparation so far, but that's not going to finish until, Saturday kickoff. What time does the game start at? 3:07, 3:05? Something like, we don't start at 3:04. Is that it? All right, so the preparation is so important. And then, flipping the switch and, playing hard for 3.5 hours. So that's what our focus is about, and that's what my focus is about, and our student athletes too.
Change the perception of the program.
I hope so. It's always interesting. I've made this point a few times before. When I come in and I don't carry my phone around like some people do 24/7. I guess I'm a little older. I don't know. I don't need to have that pacifier next to me. But when I come in off of a game, and I'll get my phone and look at it, and I'll see how many text messages I had. I got 190 something after the Cincinnati game, and then, I kind of get done with those and turn it off for a while. I got 70, and then I turn it off for a while. And I got 90. Just a lot of people that are interested. A lot of former players, a lot of different spots, and a lot of, obviously Tulane people who are excited about where we're at. Because, I said it when I first got here. Tulane's had some great teams. They've had some great players. It just hasn't been done consistently. That's our goal.
It's the craziest sticker request you got for Saturday.
I had 2 guys that played for me in 1993 and 94 at Blinn. They called me last night, told me how much they love me, and they said, "Hey, Coach, you got 2 tickets for me." So I told them I'll try, but I just don't know if I can get them for you, So that's kind of, that's it. It's a good problem to have. I haven't had it here before, so it's a good problem to have.
Coach, at what point, either before the season or during the season, did you feel like this team could reach this point?
I always have this goal. I'm an optimist, and I always try to look on the bright side on things instead of being Debbie Downer. But I just we had a lot of guys that have played a lot of football for us, and having 19 guys who've graduated, I think that's indicative of the experience that we have on this football team. And then we're around. I'm around all the time. If if I'm in town, I'm at the office, and there's so many Saturdays and Sundays, I'd come up here and they're out there throwing the ball around and doing stuff, or they're in the office watching film, you know, voluntarily, all those kind of things. So they put a lot of work into it. I hope everybody will be mindful of that when they come up here and talk to y'all.
Say, for example, the Houston game, might that have been a point in the season where you more fully grasped the determination of the?
Yeah, it was big, you know. We had a lot of adversity thrown at us during the week, then after the first drive, and nobody blinked. And, you know, the path to victory is always a little bit different. And it was defense most of that game, and then, you know, we had the big drive there at the end to tie the game and then win in overtime. You know, you don't know who it is. I just got, you know, I go up to different guys every day in practice. Hey, man, you may play 70 snaps. And it's a backup guy, just so they kind of. And that week I told Kai Horton that, you may play 70 snaps this week. You better get ready. And luckily he was ready.
Last one.
Everybody good? Thank y'all.